have
hours digging myself out of the truck.
Well, that's why I feel bad. I want you to get something for being here. It's such a strange, the animal that calls the Binomial Distribution school dude is such a strange animal. Like when they say yay, when they say nay. I don't understand it at all sometimes. I don't.
I think if Ben kids are going to school, then we're going to school.
No, they are, but that means we're dependent on Binomial Distribution, and I don't understand how Binomial Distribution makes their call.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't appear to be based on data.
No.
Maybe it's some dude. I can envision a guy in a suit walking in a room. You ready, Charlie? Yep, give me the quarter. Nope, send him in. Like I have this vision of like it's
if they predict it early enough, then they send them. So because they knew it was coming like 2 weeks ago is why they sent them. But they didn't seem to be very prepared this morning.
That's why it seems like a coin. That's why it seems like a coin flip to me. How's a great decision made? Give me a coin. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, you ready? Our flock. We bought 4 birds. Now you already know what the average number of girls I've got is, don't you? We don't even have, if you know that I bought 4, and you know there's a 0.9, each one of the birds is 0.9 girl, you know how many girls I have in average in my backyard, don't you? How many? Each bird is 0.9 of a girl. So I just add 0.9 more in, I got 3.6 girls per flock. Now, I'm gonna stop right here and say, sometimes that's all you need to know. For example, somebody buying, say, 10,000 birds. They now know they're going to average 9,000 chickens under this scenario. That might be all they need to know. Maybe. But if you need to microanalyze the individual components of a distribution, and my personal belief is that you should. You should do that. And you'll see why. I'm developing a fun question for you guys for your last exam that analyzes student debt by looking at the distribution that they don't show you. But you can get if you actually go into the data and pour through it, which I've done for you. Don't worry about that. I've poured through the data and I've broken out the distribution based on the probabilities. It's an interesting thing to look at the individual pieces and what they tend to focus on in media. Surprise. Okay, we'll get back to that though in like 4 weeks. All right. How many girls can I have in that box? How many girls do I have in that box? 0 through 4. They might all be girls. They might not at all be girls, and everything in between. Notice we can average fractional girls, but you can't have fractional girls in a box. Averaging is different than having. I mean, this is spreading the girls out evenly over all those birds, 0.9 per. All right, let's grab some probabilities. What do you say? Anyone you want. Say that again, Johnny.
Yeah.
You want to go to this one?
Oh, no, it's 0.
You're going 0. Perfect. What do you got here?
0.1 times 0.1.
Can I just do that? Is that okay if I do that?
I was going to ask if that's just easy.
Of course! Why didn't I do it right away?
To show the math.
I wanted you to actually see each one of those as one of the birds. Now I think we're comfortable with it. Now let's just use exponents. Hell yeah, my friend. Yes. Am I worried when Max bought 4 birds that I was coming home with 4 roosters? Now, Campbell, why were you so upset with getting 4 roosters? Why are you worried about it? Because the probability is much different when you buy 10 birds and get 4 versus buying 4 birds and getting 4. Right? Does that make sense? If she had bought 20 birds and gotten 4, or 30 birds and gotten 4, it's a totally different scenario because that exponent is changing. Good. More on that later. And when I say later, I mean next Tuesday. We'll get back. I want to analyze your chicken flock, whoever else has chickens that week. Fair enough? Okay, good. Pick an animal.
4.
4! Love it. Aaron, you've actually answered this one for us already, haven't you? About an hour ago you answered this one for us. Very, very good. It's okay though. Candace, go.
0.9 to the 4th.
Yes, ma'am. This is what I did in my head, well, roughly. Now, you gave me much more precision though, Aaron. What was it, 0.6?
I can't remember.
You can't remember? What's 0.9 to the 4th, friends?
6561.
6561. You got way more precision. At that desk, I did 0.9 times 0.9 is 0.81. I dropped the 1 because I couldn't keep track of it. And then I did 0.8 times 0.8 is 0.64 and called that 2/3. And that's why I told the dude, there's a 1/3 chance I got a rooster. That's when we had this beautiful talk that led to this and came to your class finally eventually. So, kind of fun. All right, let's get the rest of them. Which one do you guys want to do? Oh, is there any multiplier in front of these? No, no need, right? Because you just rolled snake eyes. They're all boys. There's no question. This means Bertha and Mary and Marge and Nancy are all boys or all girls. What's up, Anna? Ask me that question. What's on your mind?
No, I was just making a connection. Like
Good.
You did 3 and so you put 4, and
Like the number 4.
So Anna's saying, okay, is the multiplier for these going to be 4? What do you think? I think it has to be, right? Go ahead, Aaron.
You may need to do that because, like what you said earlier, the probability of one of these birds being a rooster.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that's one micro part of this whole thing. I want you to be able to build this whole thing. No, what you're saying, my answer is done. My answer, when I discussed with that guy at the store, this is all we needed, that last piece.
Yeah.
If you think about it, all you needed for what I did at the store was your second project.
Yeah.
What's
No,
the chick?
I'm just trying to say that if you're trying to figure out the probability of there being 3 girls, it's the same as the probability of there being 1 boy, which is just 1 minus the probability of 4.
Can you come back to that? Give me 2 minutes to come back to that, if it's okay. Because I want to have it all blown out here for you guys so you can see it all. So what would the numerical exponential multiplications look like? 0.9 to the 4th for 4. How about 3? Andrea, go. Andrea. Andrea sits over there in the other class.
0.9 times 0.9 times 0.1.
How about 0.9 cubed? Can I do a 0.9 cubed and a 0.1? Is that fair?
Okay.
So, and that's the same thing she said, which is exponentially. There's still 4 powers going on. Y times 4 again, friend? You got to keep track of where that boy is. Is it Mary, or is it Marge, or is it Bertha, or is it Nancy? There's 4 places that boy could be. Yeah.
I did all this so it doesn't equal 1.
Well, don't worry about it. We'll get to why that is in a second, okay? Just don't, you finish the whole distribution. You're ahead of me. That's okay. We'll get there. It doesn't have to 1 right now for sure.
Do you add those two or do you times those two?
What's it?
0.9 cubed and 0.1?
Oh, this is all multiplication.
Okay.
Those are all, because that's the and part. Because Mary is a girl, and Nancy is a girl, and Bertha's a boy, and Marge is a girl.
Okay.
And then the ors are taken care of by the 4. Is that okay, Candace?
Yeah, I think when we're multiplying it, that I'm getting too many different things in there, and I'm.
That's why I liked having them all written out like that over there, but I think it's getting messy now because there's so many factors. So what's that? That's 0.729, 0.0729. That's like 28%. What does that come out to be, friends? Say that again. Well, so 0.0. So it's that times 4 and then scooched over 1.
It's
0.2916.
0.2916. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nervous. Remember, this is the chance there's 1 rooster in the box and 3 girls. That's really high, isn't it? That's almost 30%. I'm like, crap. You see what we're getting? Good, Aaron. You see it. Good. You see it, sir. Good, sir. Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. I'm not worried about this at all. This has nothing to do with worrying me. That I'm nervous about because I'm like, holy Max, you got a boy in there. But I'm diseased. I think about that. I know that's pretty small comparatively to what I'm going to do in my backyard and potentially dealing with on Craigslist in 6 months. Cool? So, Andrea, let's go up and do the 1. If that's okay, just to keep it symmetric, let's do the 1 next because I think it's symmetric with that one. The only difference is where the exponent is. Now you've got 1 girl and 3 boys. Yes, and 3 boys. Fair? Good? Okay. So 0.9, 0.1. That's going to be, actually that's going to be, I can't cheat over there, 0.0009 times 4, yes? Times 4, because there's 4 places for that girl to be, that's going to be, let me see if I can do this in my head. Is that right? I think I did that right, because 9 times 4 is 36, then move the decimal point. Okay, good. I'm doing like 3rd grade math here with my fingers, so I'm like moving 1, 2, 3 places. Okay, so now we know what the last one has to be, yes? Because we can subtract from 1 to get that last piece, for sure. For sure. We can just add them up and subtract, which would be, I'm going to cheat a little bit. It's like 5%, but I don't know exactly what it is. 0.0486, thank you, Teresa. And I was doing Bruce math, actually. That's about 65, that's about 30, that's 95, 5%'s left, so I guessed. So now, can we figure out what's left? Because Andrea made a comment like it's not adding to 1.
It does.
It doesn't?
It does.
Oh, it does now. Well, that it does, for sure, right?
Well, I mean, when she...
Oh, wait, hang on now. Walk me through this, walk me through. I think I got part of it. It's 0.9 squared and 0.1 squared, yes?
Mm-hmm.
What goes here? 6. Why the hell does 6 go there?
6 different ways to get it.
Why are there 6 different ways? Hang on. Explain, please.
If you're taking
It's a
the
combination of.
Oh, listen to you.
0.27 nice.
Well, I was up late doing the. I thought the project was due today.
Oh shit, I was about to do it next week.
So I did it last night. I went to submit it. I'm like, oh, there's no link.
Oh,
Tell me
I thought it
anything. Not my
was
You, that's okay, brother. Actually, you're Uber managed. Just so you know, Tom's made a connection. Sorry that you thought the project was due today. There's a beautiful thing called a combination. You'll read about it in your next project, which is not due till next week. You're actually doing one right now. You're doing 4 choose 2, which is equal to 6. Show me the 6.
That's what we're gonna.
Okay.
Show me the 6. Where are the 6? Yes, where are? I don't believe any of you. Give me one. Find the 2 girls. Where are the girls? Top 2. There's 1. There's 2.
2 on the side.
There's 3.
2 on the other side.
There's 4.
Diagonal.
Ah, 5,
The other diagonal.
6. There they are. We got them all?
Yes.
We did. Now, if you didn't like that, which I love, by the way, that was beautiful. It's kind of like, it's called the handshake problem. If you were to take those 4 girls and connect them with lines, how many ways could you connect them with lines? Because really, drawing the line between them shows you that they're both girls. And there's 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines, 6 lines. That's one way of thinking about it. And that's another way of thinking about combinations, which is a fun way. We'll talk about that in your quiz next week if you choose to do that quiz. There you go. There's your distribution. You're done. What's interesting is now, what if we talk about Gail's 10 birds? Or my 8 birds? Or Mike Smith, a friend of mine, who had 7 birds and was complaining about his 1 rooster and 6 hens. And I said, why are you complaining? He's like, because I don't want a rooster. I'm like, but you got a 50-50 shot. When you buy 7 birds, you're going to have a rooster somewhere. He's like, what? And it's amazing when you start talking to people about this. When you explain the math, you're like, oh, poop. I never thought about that. But it becomes harder and harder to get all girls. And past the point, you have to start expecting boys, right? Every, how many would you have to start expecting a boy? If there's a 90% chance that that bird's a girl, every time you buy 10, a tenth at a time, every time you buy 10 birds, on average, that means you got a boy and 9 girls. So if you buy a huge flock, say 30 or 40, start expecting roosters. Now, 10's not huge, right? You would average 1 rooster. So the question now becomes is 4 too far away from the average of 1? That's a better question for Tuesday, once it's not, hopefully not snowing quite as much as it is right now. So, one more story, and I'll get you out of here. Are we okay with this? Is this fair? It's about the importance, we were discussing data in canceling school, right? Discussing data. So I mentioned that Agnes isn't a girl. I'm nervous because I'm hearing roosters crowing in the backyard. I haven't found a friggin' egg for months. All my neighbors' chickens are laying eggs. Agnes is not. But I'm thinking, well, she witnessed her sister get murdered and she witnessed her 2 other sisters die. Maybe she's traumatized. Maybe she's not going to lay for a while. We were told that we were feeding her the wrong kind of feed. We didn't know about this. Apparently there's a scratch and peck feed you feed them when they're growing up, organic, that encourages them to lay. We didn't know that. The first girls just got the normal crumble, organic crumble, whatever. So I'm thinking all these things together. I'm like, she's a freaking rooster. And then I'm checking all over the yard for eggs, and it's starting to freeze at night, so I'm getting nervous. If she's laying somewhere weird, the eggs are going to get ruined if she lays them out in the yard, because I got to get them in the house. And I'm walking out in the backyard. This is Saturday or Sunday, I forget what day it was, and they had gone in for the night, and I was closing them up. Put the door closed, check it out on their. That's a pigeon, but chicken. They mentioned a chicken noise instead. They're all on their little perch and poop everywhere. And I start walking back outside, and I turn to the right. Now, every summer, I tell you about the ducks. Every summer, these ducks, this pair of ducks, or 3 ducks or 4 ducks, come to my pond. We have a 3,000-gallon pond in our backyard. It's great. Max keeps it stocked with fish and everything. We catch trout and bring them home, and he loves it. Don't tell the Fish and Wildlife we do that. Chris is being recorded. Anyway, so we got these fish in the pond, and the ducks come, because the ducks, you've seen the ducks in water in the spring. They're mating, and they're doing their thing, and they're bathing. And they poop, and they poop, and they poop, and the pH gets driven up to like 10, and I gotta drain the pond. And it's all worthwhile if they just give me a baby, right? Just give me ducklings, so Max can watch the miracle of ducklings being born. So I built them a duck house, tucked it under a juniper tree. I said, they'll come to the duck house. I put chicken scratch around it, corn scratch, scratch corn. Filled it with dry grass. Did everything short of like duck aphrodisiacs that I could possibly do to get these friggin' things to give me some babies. They walked in, they pooped in the duck house, they ate all the corn, they flew away, they never come back. So I go by the duck house and I'm like, I wonder. And I tip it up. There's 14 eggs in the duck house. Agnes was laying in the damn duck house. I kept checking the coop, I checked the run, I checked all 1/3 of our acres, which is not very much. And I didn't check in the damn duck house. So I picked it up, I'm like, son of a bitch, she's not a rooster. So I posted a picture on Facebook, and the first thing somebody says is, I can only fit like half of them in my hand. I'm taking a picture with one hand, I had half of the eggs in my hand. Did you actually see her lay the eggs? I'm like, shut the hell up! It's Agnes! Don't give me your crap. No, I didn't see her lay the damn eggs. Anyway, so it's making database decisions, right? So now I can say, I got a chicken. Agnes is a chicken, she's giving me eggs. So anyway, end of story for today. Let's get you guys out of here early, yes? I want you getting out of here. Take your time, be super careful. Let's give you 10s on these quizzes, yes? That sound good? Yes, I think we should just give you 10s.
So it doesn't add to 1 equation.
It should! That doesn't add to 1?
It does.
Unless I'm doing the math right.
Maybe. It should add to 1. We're good, Andrea? Yeah, it should.
How did you get the 3.6 before we did the math?
Oh, good. So Andrea asked where the 3.6 average came from. Every time you add a bird, you're adding 0.9 girls. So it was 2.7. We added 0.9 more, gets to 3.6. So Gail, you should have 9 average, 9 girls. I'm telling you. I'm gonna stop talking about your flock.
Oh, okay,
That was a couple years ago.
Oh, gotcha. Did you make soup?
Yeah, how sad it is when they sex.
Say that again.
How sad it is when they sex because they just put the garbage back.
Oh, I heard. Well, I've heard a nicer fairy tale that they also give some to Jeff, like the reptile guy, to feed his snakes.
Some maybe, but yeah.
Yeah.
They put them in grinders where they just put the garbage bags and tie it close.
See that? The grinder is better for me than the garbage bag because at least the grinder is over quickly.
See, you think of math and I think of that whole time. Oh, there's only one over here.
Now, shit, I'm gonna think of that, Andrea. I'm a recovering vegetarian. Shit. You guys be safe, huh?